Hi guys, this is your September forecast for all the signs. If you would like a private reading with me or hypnosis to facilitate permanent change, which is a good time to do that with all the changes happening, use the link below and contact me. We'll do a one-on-one. So for an introduction on what's happening for everyone, there's been a lot of planets that have had big changes over the last couple of months, and these are cycles that don't change for say 10 and 11 years, the 2021 year, 4 year. So the big planets have all been making changes, and a few of the big planets are in retrograde, and also the karmas have shifted over as well. We've also had blue moons, we've had super moons, we've had Lionsgate, with all these different things going on. And so for the last, say, 4 to 5 months, this year's been difficult. We have been catching up. We've been treading our feet. We've been getting through one thing and finally feeling like there's a bit of peace, and then another thing will come up. It's been a tricky time for everyone, and the collective conscious is that everyone is feeling tired, physically tired, mentally tired, and what I call soul tired. It's been a very busy time with most people have 3 things separate in their lives that have been up and down, and a lot of anxiety or a lot of push behind that, or restraints or time limits with that. So I pulled out some cards for the overall for everybody to take note of, separate to your own reading. First one we got was the World card, which again, like I said, the whole world is changing. We've just changed our karmas over as well, but with all these big planetary changes, what it means is that the world is about to see a change. Now, for you itself, your world will not look the same. The world itself will not look the same. Restrictions will be put back in place for the world itself, but also for yourself. We also have the Teresa card, which is exhaustion, as I just said, and the Omega. So through these changes, we are restructuring, we are resettling, we are stopping things that no longer serve us and starting something anew. This is also a time where if we can push through, we'll get that satisfaction and we'll get that win in the end. The exhaustion part, we've got to be finding ways that we can settle any anxiety or a running mind that won't stop, which is causing anxiety or insomnia or depression. And even if you've never suffered from any of those conditions before, the unsettling ripple effect that's been going on the last, say, like I said, 4 to 6 months, it's been a time when a lot of people are on edge and they're up and down in their personalities and those that are around you as well. So this is going to settle down. For myself, I feel like this is going to go right through till maybe just before Christmas or just after Christmas, and things will really start to make sense, be more clear, and you'll know which way you're going forward from now on. Okay, let's get straight into Aries. So Aries, you are focused on your health and your routine and what your day looks like. You are being asked to make some changes and end some things, which is difficult for you to do. It's like being stuck in a routine and not wanting to make those changes. And even though knowing that it's not working completely well for you, having that difficulty of letting it go. Some people have difficulty letting, childhood, friends, moving on from partners, moving on from groups. But as we change, we go to different levels, and we grow out of people and into new groups. The same for other people that are looking after someone who may be ill. So there might be a death, there might be that they need to go through to a high facility, or that somebody else will be taking on some or all of that care. There are some endings coming along for with your work or what you do to help others. So if you're taking care of someone, there is an end coming there where we're going to have to make some changes. For some of you, what you rely on, you're going to have to go through that again and make reapply, and get that re-signed soon. And for those people, I would say particularly up to about October the 18th. Now, with your study, career and finance, we have the Ace card, which is about having those new ideas, the new creativity, and how you can have a fresh start. Now, if this is in terms of looking for a job, you'll have 2 decisions that you're going to make, whether that's 2 jobs we're deciding between, or whether I've had this offer made to me and I'm really undecided of whether this is the place for me. I may be desperate for a job and maybe I don't have any choice, but something around that to do with this is a little bit unsettling and really undecisive of which way you're going to go with that. So with your work, you might be doing a dual role, you might be starting a new role, you might be doing passive income on your own as well. When it comes to needing finances for the rest of the family, it looks like you'll have just enough to cover, but it looks like it will be in about 2 weeks' time where you can actually have that ease, that peace of mind that things are going to be okay, because the things are a bit on edge, a bit of anxiety, a bit of restriction, and a bit of time restraint around that, which is causing tensions and emotions to rise. When it comes to your home, we do have the Six of Swords. Things during the home, like I said, we're looking after someone or yourself is unwell, because what your daily routine is squarely under the highlight right now, and where your karmas have shifted is it's about moving from being dependent and moving into being dependent, depending on others to being independent for you. So that transition is going to be difficult. This one here shows that there's a slow move. So if this is about yourself or someone you're looking forward to, it's a slow looking after. This is a slow recovery for that. There is going to be need to reapply. The finances, if you're applying for them, will take a little while to go. As far as arguments within the family or the house tenant that you're living with, or even with your landlord, things are going really slow. So you're not getting that feedback, you're not getting that reply, you're not getting that contact, you're missing each other, miscommunication, not getting each other's information, and so there's a miss there. Things are going to take a while. Again, when I give a time frame for that, again, I would say it would be close to the end of September where things will start to look a little bit easier there in terms of finding a solution. Perhaps on around about September the 15th, the negotiations will be more possible. Some of you are slowly returning to work, so turning into, from depending on others into, stepping out and looking after yourself and being more dependent. So, if there's a separation here within a family, which also could be happening, it looks like what those roles are will be a slow transition as we're moving forward. When we come to your house, we've got the King of Cups here, and this is about having to reassure yourself about your mental state, or about keeping things on the level. In terms of whereabouts in the body this is a fluid thing. There could be some tremors there could be some swelling there, could be some odd pains that come and go, almost like pins and needles, or if you've had surgery on anything to do with, or any kind of injury anywhere near the nerves or ligaments and tendons, as they grow and heal, there's a bit of pain there, a bit of tingle, bit of sensation in that area, so that is included. But yes, anything to do with fluid, anything to do with swelling, and like I said, those tingles. When we're coming to our relationships, we do have the Devil card, Major Arcana card. So back to what I was saying before, when we have an area sitting in the 12th house, which is asking with the planet with it to restructure, resettle, and to restart again. Some of you are getting past an issue that's been long going and making an agreement, and during this time that I'm making the video, nothing is going to be settled until the last week in September, so it will go back and forth. So if you think that things are settled today, they are not. It will be closer to the end of September. So if you are in an off again, on again relationship, and you've gotten over things, this is about taking responsibility on who does what, taking responsibility for your own actions, and then taking responsibility for those. Those of you that are separating, it looks like this is a permanent thing, and that's why we're moving slowly forward, and that way we have to look at the dual purpose, what kind of support's coming in from the other half, and how I can make that money for myself. And like I said, if you've been in a relationship and you haven't been working, now you need to go out there, and so that's that change there for you. The Devil card is a Major Arcana card, and that suggests that there is some sort of abuse happening, some sort of control, manipulation. Things are in excess. For a small select few of you, it might be something like an STD or cheating, or just if we're thinking of the devil, maybe we've got some people suggesting we do things that don't really make us comfortable in that. So now we're going to go on to Taurus. Taurus, you are looking at your dating and hobbies and fun life. You are looking at where your creativity and your self-expression can be, and also for some of you it is with your children. What you need to look at is, for some of you, this dating, so some of you are, we've got two sides of the Taurus. Some of you are separating and going into the single life, and this is going to be, maybe you've already done that, and so now you're ready to enter the world, into the, the dating scene. It's going to be quite a public and, social time for you this month, but it looks like you are restructuring what your friendships look like. So, I mean, if there has been a separation, maybe you're not going to have those friends anymore. But regardless of what your situation is, you're looking like you're gaining new friends, gaining a new network, gaining new organizations, maybe you're on new platforms, maybe you're doing those kinds of things. This is anything to do with a project, with work, or passive income, or a sports team, or anything else like that, it looks like you are going to be chosen. There is going to be a contract, and there will be some publicity to go with that. In terms of dating, the other half of the Taurus, it looks like you're going to be having a lot of fun with this person. Again, I wouldn't worry about being a confirmed couple. So this month it's looking like you will be a couple, but until the last week in September, you really can't be absolutely certain. There might be a little bit of a change there, but it looks like that way for you. With our study, career and finance, we've got the Six of Swords here. You're going to have to let some money go, whether you've paid for something and you've just gone back and forth and they're just not delivering what you've paid for. It's something you're going to have to write off. Maybe you can look at it again and, in 60, 90 days on the next eclipse or whatever that is. It might come back and you'll have an opportunity then, but at the moment it's not. For some of you, you might feel like you've made a mistake at work. Maybe you've overspent. Maybe you've lost something that was valuable, whether it be a client, a document, something like that, and you're worried about your job. For some of you, this is about, I've put all this time and energy into this project or sports or hobby that I've been working on for a while. I've put money into that. I'm just going to have to pull back right now because circumstances aren't going to allow that. Lastly, with your money, it looks like you're not going to have a huge amount of money this month, Taurus, when it comes to covering your finances. We do have the Devil card in the place of the home. This is a family member or a tenant or even a landlord who is trying to take control and manipulate, trying to be the dominator over this family unit. So family includes my family itself, the people that I live with, and the people around the home, so the landlord, the bank manager, those kinds of things. So someone here wants dominance, control, is manipulating and causing a lot of friction around that. Major Arcana card. This is also about feeling regret and betrayal as well. And if we're looking at the money situation, maybe it's gambling, maybe it's taking risks, and we've spent that money and now the family or the home life is in a bit of a difficulty, and it's going to be a slow recovery where we go with that. In terms of flatmates, it looks like okay, so two things. So with the flatmates, you could be on the side of where there's a flatmate where we have to absolutely evict this person, or there's a flatmate who is doing some questionable, risky things within the unit, the apartment, where it's making you feel uncomfortable and you really need to, you've tried to talk to them, but they're just not reasonable. They want to control. Maybe they're in a rage or a psychosis or whatever, Taurus. But this person is really making it difficult and uncomfortable for you. When you look at your health, you've got the King of Cups here. No surprise, it's the difficulty getting over an emotional feeling that you are having this month. Now, this can be generational as well, but I feel like when things start moving forward for you positively, it may not look like it is now, but we have all these things in retrograde. We've got Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, and Venus itself is about beautification. It's about relationships, it's about values, it's about finances, and partners, whether it's finance or in relationships. So, there's difficulties there, there's a loss there, there's a miss there. And so when it comes to that, it's bringing you down, it's laying you on. So for you, it looks like work and home, there's some difficulties there. And this is something that you're carrying on your shoulders. It looks like, though, things are going to start moving forward and flow. We're all going with the flow towards the end of the month. This is also about fluid retention. So maybe you've got difficulties with removing fluid through the diuretic way, or that we're heavily sweating, or that we've got water accumulating somewhere around here. When it comes to relationships, we've got the Ace of Swords. Look, for some of you, this is about a new relationship, but for others, this is about finding, like I said, one's going to end and you've been together for a while, and one is I'm moving into a new relationship. But this one here says I am looking for the truth in the situation. I'm looking at what is real and what is not real and where the reality goes with that. You're drawing virtue messages from the angels, smooth the road ahead in the family way and with the dating way. So let's say there is movement in the home, so there's definitely going to be a change there within moving and within the home or the work. So if you are leaving your job, you'll get a new one. If there's issues in the family, there is going to be a change there. Desiree says no at this point. And when I look at this, I feel like this is more to do with the I want to say with the family. So maybe it is this the right time to get this done? No, it's not. Just absolutely not right at this time. Look at it again in a couple of weeks, but no, not right now. Ariel says that there's a psychic ability, gut instinct about you where you can foresee where things are going, but you're not exactly sure if this is wishful thinking or if you're doomsday thinking. But to trust in that, there is going to be a solution at the end of this. Archangel Raphael is helping you with that physical issues that you may be having this month. Okay, Gemini. We're looking at your home for all of this month, and there is going to be a change on responsibilities and roles within the family or your home. Where you have to restructure is the financial start of this. So maybe we are remortgaging, maybe we're getting a loan to get a house, maybe we're getting a loan to pay the rent or to move out on our own, or we've got a new job to do that, or we're borrowing money off our parents. So that the finance part is where we've got to look at and get that new. Because the family is the total focus of this month, there are going to be some changes there. Now, for some of you, you might find that there's a new birth or a announcement of a birth. This is bringing the family back together. There is a routine change as well for you this month, Gemini. Now, you might find that you have to work from home part-time or that you're going to part-time, some of you Geminis. At work, we do have the Three of Cups, so anything you're working on is going to have a great celebratory result there. It's also about a win. If we are looking for a job, we've got a job. It's competition as well. And it's about getting that contract, getting that information and getting that promotion as well. When we're looking at the family way, again, we've got that money that we needed. When it comes to home, we do have the Two of Swords. Look, somewhere in our intellect here, we are either reminiscing. So the dates that I would look back on for an eye-opener, Gemini, into, deja vu times, it would be 2004, 2008, 2015, 2017, and 19 years back from now. And you can keep going back 19 years depending on how old you are. Those themes will be replaying over the next 18 months, and they have started playing already. Somewhere in this, now, if we're going to look at couples here, we're deciding whether we're going to stay or whether we're going to go, or we're deciding about what is going on within this relationship, because I cannot see where it's coming from. I'm covering my chest because I'm hurting, and I have these swords here, so I'm looking for the truth, I'm looking for a decision, and I'm hurting. So I'm looking at what the answers could be for that. And it looks like it's a conversation that needs to be had. Don't forget, like I said, all these planets being in retrograde, it's been up and down power play. So things might be great, things might be difficult, they might be highly emotional, and then back to being reasonable and normal again. But particularly in September, it looks like there's a decision to be made, and you really don't know where this is coming from. And it's put you with your back up against the wall, Gemini, where you're deciding, well, I'm unsure, I don't know where it's coming from, this is hurting me, and I don't know what to do. On the other side of that, if this is about your home itself or with the flatmates, I don't think I can continue living in this environment, whether that person needs to move or I need to move. That is the answer for you. When it comes to your health, we do have the Magician card. Now, again, when I'm looking at your health, we're going to have to change things. You've got beautiful cards here for this month. The only thing that is looking there is who is being, we've got our home there where there's some decisions there, not feeling comfortable, and decide whether I'm going to stay or whether I'm going to go or they're going to go. with that. And then the other area would be with your relationship. So your health is saying, look, can we look at readjusting or starting anew with our health? Because for whatever reason, we need to restructure here, because this is time. So whether you've had a scare, whether you haven't had time and now you've become overwhelmed and exhausted, and you're not really feeling really good, but you've decided to get onto a new way of health kick, that this is a major arcana card. So what you think above is what you will feel below. So this is along with the anxiety, this is along with manifestation, this is seeing yourself 5 months from now. What do you want this to look like? What do you want this to feel like? And you will have the money, you will have the support, you will have everything you need to get there. It's going to take a little bit of self will and being able to push yourself even on days where you don't feel like going. So it's a major arcana card. If you're doing that this month, Gemini, it's really going to work out for you. When we come to our relationships, we have the Emperor card. So first of all, some of you are going to be having a disagreement with that or a family member of the other half that you're in. It looks like there is someone's not moving. They're just not moving. They're not approving. They're disapproving, and they are creating a tension on the relationship itself. When we're talking, this is a major arcana card. When we're talking about the relationship itself, it could be the father that is. It's a hereditary thing, that you weren't. So when I'm looking at this from the family perspective in this relationship, there's something that you're learning from the family or from the father that is a cultural, religious, or ideological, or a different way of thinking that you're not used to. And now that you've seen that, you can't unsee that. So it's asking you, what's my decision on this? Because I wasn't aware of this before. Am I happy with this? This is going to take a little bit of time, and I don't think for you it will happen until about October 18th or the 20th. For those of you in a relationship, this is about power plays. Who's going to be in charge? Is someone else taking on a role because somebody else is otherwise engaged or unwell or working overseas or working too much? Where are the roles in this relationship going to be making a change? If there's any abuse going on in this relationship, or if there's any type of someone trying to control, someone trying to dominate, then this is the time for you to have that conversation. Drawing virtue messages from the angels, Gemini, is when it comes to your health, with the Magician card here, like I said, there may have been a warning, or there may be unwellness which has made you stop and go, do you know what, I can't ignore it anymore. This is a karmic thing. This is the time. You don't want to ignore this, because you're going to get more unwell, and then by the time you realize, I really should have back then, this is the time you really got to push yourself. You've really got to get this new health thing done now. It's karmic. You've got to do it. You will feel better. It may be hard to adjust to in the beginning, but you will feel better. Okay, Adriana's saying, I am leading you towards the answer of your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I'm communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. We've got Archangel Uriel again with that emotional decision of, I've seen it, now I can't unsee it, what I'm feeling at home, I don't know where it's coming from, helping you with that. He's the head of the deck for emotions. And then Bethany says, look, spend some time on you, spend some money on you, because you need to be a little bit spoiled, because things have been up and down for you and very, very difficult. Maybe you're going to be buying a new wardrobe, especially if you're starting a new job, or doing something different to the outside, your hair, makeup, Botox, whatever, you're doing something on the outside of your body to look different. So now we're going to go into Cancer. Cancer, you have lots of communication this month, wonderful ideas and getting that voice across, but the problem is that there's misinterpretation, miscommunication. There's going to be difficulties with technology itself, or even arriving on time due to transportation. It looks like things might be stopped and delayed and starting again. Now when it comes to your neighborhood, there might be an incident where we are there for a street party, or there's some sort of something in the neighborhood which draws all of our attention there. When we're looking at our work, please watch your sun, moon and rising, because some of these cards I've had in the same place already. Work, studying finance, we've got Ace of Swords. Now, if you're studying, it looks like you want to add to what you're doing. So you might want to add a major, add a minor, add an extra class, something to do with that. When it comes to your finances, can I bring on an extra job, extra shift in that way as well. But it's also looking at your accounts and having an idea of how I can do both of these things at the same time, whether that be I'm working, paying my bills, and I'm saving towards. Because we're looking at this in two ways, and we have thought about it, we've come to a conclusion, but don't expect this to be absolute until the middle of September, so from the 15th on, because things are going to change. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying that the dates, the numbers, the start date, the end date, something about that, or even the area of what it's going to be, something there is going to change with that. If you need money for your home, because it looks like in our home situation, whether that's the family itself or whether it's your flatmate, or your home that you are on. It looks like there's a question on whether Cancer, we are staying or we're going, but it looks like whatever that is for you, because you maybe you want to get out of this, or maybe you really, really want to stay. And either way of which it is for you, it looks like you'll get what it is that you want, and your finances, the idea. Looking at the finances is the way to help you out. So maybe you've made an arrangement to borrow money off parents or borrowing money off someone, and you've found a way out. So you've got that in, and it says what it is that you're hoping for, because you're fretting. But the answer is there to breathe fresh air into what you thought was dead and gone. When it comes to family members, it looks like someone is recovering and looking better, sounding better, and able to talk again, or able to be out in public again, or, so if this is a mental issue, maybe they're looking better and sounding better. If this is a health issue, maybe they're released from the hospital, they need less care, or they're really starting to recuperate or rehabilitate much better. When it comes to your health, we've got the Justice card, Major Arcana card, and as you've seen with most of these cards, these signs, the Major Arcana cards in your health part is what I was saying at the beginning, is because so much is happening astrology-wise, and we've got these cycles that are happening. Each one of us will have it in a different part. For you with your health, just like this last sign that I had, this is a moment where we have to find balance. You have to be honest with yourself. Maybe you've been more unwell. Everybody's been feeling tired. Everyone's been feeling exhausted, more tired than you've been before, even if you're not doing anything different. Or maybe you've got a lot more stress, which has made you a lot more exhausted, which has made you a lot more tired. But the Justice card is a Major Arcana card, and it's saying we must find balance here. Maybe you're overeating, you're smoking, over drinking, overindulging. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're working too much, not enough rest. Hanging out too much, not enough resting. Maybe your balance to do with the way that you eat your food, and even when it comes to an imbalance, so if we're talking about conditions, diabetes, hormonal, creatine, serotonin, any of those. So there's an imbalance here. It's a Major Arcana card. So once we figure this out, life is going to change and be a lot better for you. Now, when it comes to your love, we do have the Seven of Cups. This is saying someone's questioning our commitment, or whether it's you or them. We're thinking about, yes, this is the person that I want, or that I have this feeling that this is the person that I want. For others, I'm at a point in this relationship where I'm really confused about their commitment to me or mine to them, because I feel like we're on one line, but there's some confusion there. And also on the other half of that, it's us in a relationship and the lines are blurred there. Maybe it needs to be said in straight out words. We are a couple, or we are only, friends with benefits. There's a blurring of the lines there. Now, for others, this is, I have this relationship with someone, and there's one point I'm not going to back down from, and it's creating confusion. It's creating a lot of emotion in our head, and it's creating difficulties within our relationship. There's a lot of potential with this relationship. How can I get this person to understand, or if it's them to me, then how I need to stop and listen and understand why and where this is coming from, because there is some questionable around this. And if that's a priority, well, then it really is, do I want them to stay or do I want them to go, Cancer? Because this looks like it's a priority for this person. during virtue messages from the angels. So where you're looking, now for some of you, you have children and they're at an age where you are able to leave the house, go and get some new education, long education, get back out into public and get a job. For others, this is about, I'm going to have to move, or I've changed my way of thinking psychologically or religion-wise or ideologically wise. So I'm starting fresh from a new perspective here, and I will engage with the people like-minded and have more fun with them, and I'll find that that is really going to settle my mind at ease about how I'm feeling, if this is something new to me or if I've been confused. So let's just say for an example, Alcoholics Anonymous. So I've gone and I've joined, I'm really feeling like this is working for me. Or I've been stuck at home and I really do need to get out and make some friends, so I go and join the local sports team. There's something around having a restriction now that's lifted to get out and be around like-minded people, but being that it's in the ninth house, it's a wide reach. So it could be online, could be a group of people that meet up once a month, but again, psychological, religiously, or ideologically as well. So a loved one that has passed, specifically childhood friend, child, is saying to you that there's a happy move to a new place, things are going to be settled, the home life is going to be okay. Then we have the answer to your prayer. So like I said, if the children have been restricting you, now they're at an age where you're able to go out and work part-time, full-time, whatever that is, that it's all going to work in your favour. The steps will be there. But remember, not till 15th of September will things all be clear. Date, times, where, who, when, what the numbers are. Somewhere along that there is going to be a change. So expect it. You're not going to be surprised because there is going to be a change there. So don't panic and don't be worried about that. Shante says that the home life, family life has got a much more peaceful tread as we're moving into the future. Okay, so let's look at Leo. Leo, we're looking at our value system. So for some of you, it's all about our salary. And we're looking at starting a new job or starting to look at a new revenue of having more money. It looks like it's changing away from things that you've fundamentally been doing before. It might be in an not orthodox but unorthodox way. It looks like you're not able to rely on what you were relying on before for those select few. For others, this is about how I grew up and my value systems. It looks like I have to let some of those things go because now it's not matching with the reality and the person that I am today. And so moving forward, I have to have that, the two is not only about partnerships and money and salary. It's also, your values. It's also about the internal, how I feel about myself, how I feel about myself and partners, work or love, or in groups and those things. So how do I feel about me? And it looks like something hereditary or what we grew up with as an ideological way of being in our childhood, something there is going to be let go. When it comes to your finances, study and work, we've got the Strength card. So this is Major Arcana card. It is in the 8th house. For some of you, this is joining a not-for-profit or a government agency of some sort, or contracts with those kinds of things. That's the first thing that came to my head. Second one here is, again, the belief changes is helping me gain more financially. For some of you, this is moving from a parent-owned company into something completely different or something that is singular. If you've been working in a family business, then you will no longer be working there. Now, this is what we've relied upon before. There's a change there now. So whether we're starting a new job, we've got a promotion, we're working on a new team, that's the change there. Now, if we're going to go and look at passive income, it looks like our passive income has now become our primary source, or will be about to. Remember, with all of the things going backwards and all the big changes, nothing from 15th of September on, I would feel a lot more comfortable saying the last week in September, just to cover you, because you'd be like, oh, I only said the 15th. My gut instincts for you specifically would be the last week in September, that you can just breathe that fresh relief. It's done. When it comes to our home, there's a lot of burden here. Family pressure, It's all about family and where you need to have some changes and let go of things. And so in the family, we've got a lot of pressure and burden. It could be responsibility. It could be outcomes that they want. So certain cultures, certain families have an expectation on what they want them to achieve, whether it be your partner, your children, or even it's an expectation. And it's a lot for someone to carry. It's putting someone on a pedestal who didn't ask to be up there. It's that kind of pressure that's been going on. And then in your health, it's the same thing. It's the Four card, which is about family, but it's my morals, my solid belief system. There is a change there this month, Leo. Definitely is a change there. We also have Lionsgate was open as well, which for whatever reason, I'm feeling like this has affected a lot of people with Leo in them. So when it comes to the home, you can't see the tree, you can't see the flowers for the trees. If you can see this card, you cannot see above. It's all covered ahead. And over here, we do see homes, we see growth, we see paradise. And then we also see that we've laid the seeds for future growth. So it is about having that pressure on the family, on how we can continue as we are. The passive income, you might be earning enough now where you might be at the last rungs of it. So if it's your passive income, you're at the last rungs of it where there's a lot of pressure on right now, but you can nearly see the end there because the harvest is there, you know it's coming in, and that's that. For others, it's like the family and the baggage. So the family itself is just dragging me down. Baggage from my childhood is just dragging me down. Someone in the family unit or the house that you're living in is having that. Again, with your health, it looks like anxiety is causing a lot of issues with you. And they can come out in physical issues, they can come out in mental issues. The Four cards specifically is uterus, digestion, breast, stomach, and womb. So maybe some of us have decided that we're going, because 8th house is birth, deaths, and marriages, maybe we've decided that we're going to start a family, we're going to have to put some money into that, and it's a cycle that has to start. And maybe we're feeling confused, maybe one or the other is feeling confused. It could be the partner themselves or the family around it that just don't understand or are confused why we're going down this path. But that is what it is that you want to do. It could be that these hereditary things are causing. So, we could look at it wanting to go to work. Major Arcana card. We've got this heaviness coming from this hereditary issue that's causing us to feel very full, very tired, slow moving. So again, that is uterus, digestion, breast, stomach, and womb. When we come to our love, we have the Hanged Man. This is about patience. Someone's trying to push things too fast. Like I said, everything is not sure until the 15th of September on. But it looks like this person is in a real hurry. And maybe it's because they're anxious. Maybe it's because they don't want to lose you and they're in a frenzy, or they are not quite hysterical, but they're desperate, not you or them. And they're trying to push too hard. And it's a waiting game. It's a patience game. Now, maybe you haven't heard from someone and you've been ghosted, Leo. It's a matter of waiting. You will hear from them. It is coming. You're overthinking it. So this is the Hanged Man, and all of the blood is rushed to his head. So that's where it's all sitting. So when we turn it up this way, then we can think more clearly. And that's what's going on with the relationship, Leo. So you're drawing virtue messages from the angels. Now, if you're single, I feel like this is a Scorpio person for you if you're single. And this person may work like a night shift, and so it's really difficult to get out and meet this person. On the other hand, if this is a single person, then it, maybe you've been, it's not games, maybe someone is just distracted and hasn't called back, or maybe someone's waiting. You're waiting, they're waiting. It feels like there's a waiting, because the Hanged Man is all about patience and waiting. Again, like there are babies, there are hereditary issues in that area that are coming out. We've got Isaiah here, it's pregnancy card, it's family card. So while they're coming to the end of that cycle, or we're starting that cycle again, so if we're talking about IVF or we're giving birth. Akasha says you're a spiritual teacher, you have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine mission. Now this would be deep conversations or deep learnings that we've brought on that we're able to share with other people. Astara says you're going to reach those heights that it is that you wanted. You just have to wait for that. It's going to take a little bit of time. Like I said, nothing solid until the middle of the end of September, Leo. So now we're going to go on to Virgo. Virgo, happy birthday. Now you are moving and you'll be happy with that. You're moving to a new neighborhood. You're going to find, now for some of you it might be moving in with cousins or very, very close friends that feel like family, and feel very welcomed into the neighborhood within, say, let's say 3 to 4 months. You're going to feel like you've always lived there. It's going to feel that good for you. Now, with our finances, we've got the Devil card. It looks like someone's taking risks with their finances. It looks like someone's not being responsible or diligent at their work. It could be that you're very short this month for money. It looks like, that's money sense. And looking at boss sense, we're either turning up to work drunk, under the influence, we're playing around, we're not being responsible, due diligent. We've got someone who is just the devil, whether it be a boss or a group of mean girls or someone that you're working with who's just constantly picking. This person is, they want to dominate, they want to control, they want to manipulate, they want to, they may even be the same level as you but act like they're higher. This card is also about being a slave to your work as well. So maybe you're afraid to say no to extra shifts or extra hours because you're afraid you're going to lose your job. Can come out in that sense as well. And also when it comes to your job, you might find that maybe this boss likes to play games, and so you are out and not getting many shifts, or you haven't been getting the right amount of resources you need to get the job done, or they just seem to be angry at you in that sense. When it comes to home, definitely moving, we're looking out there, seeing what's next, we're seeing the lay of the land, we're seeing where our new local things are, we're getting out and meeting the neighbourhood, and we're protected against that. We're also looking at new ways of mobility as well. So some of you might be buying a car, we might be selling a car, and because you no longer need to with the new area, you can just get on a bus and just go. As far as family members go, you might find that you've got an unexpected visitor who might either just turn up on the doorstep or ring or contact you with short notice and say, I'm coming to stay. When it comes to your health, we've got the Hierophant card, but in reverse, and this card is saying that we are about our body. Now, for the first group of people, as soon as I touch the card and put it down. So if we're a person that doesn't want children, never had children, and we're at a age now where it's too late to have children anyway, there's something about this that is causing us to get medical attention. It may not be something major, but medical attention is drawn to that area. Now, onto our health. The fifth house, heart, spine, side of the body, and upper back. Looks like we're going to have to see a specialist on that, and we'll come back and we'll have the results. It looks like there's an imbalance there in that area, heart, spine, side of the body, and upper back. It could be that in an injection is what we're going to start with, is the initial process as we're going in. It might mean we have had the test done, we go back to see the specialist, and the specialist says, right, well, let's try this for, 3 months. If that doesn't work, let's get to step 2. But it looks like there's 2 involved here, whether that's 2 doctors working together, 2 specials working together, 2 treatments working together. That's what it looks like for you. When it comes to our relationships, Virgo, we do have the 7 of Swords. So when I'm looking at your overall map, Virgo, so yes, we're definitely moving to a new neighborhood and we're getting out and about. When it comes to our relationships, Some of us are getting into a relationship. It's the first one that we've had for a while. Some of us are breaking out of a relationship and we're going to cut them. It's from information that we've learnt about them that has been slow coming. Maybe we've seen signs. Maybe we have been trying to ignore it because we really like this person. But it's through what we've learnt that we've decided that we're splitting. When it comes to that, it also with that could be, look, I thought we were on the same page. I thought we had the same intentions and same outlook on what this relationship looks like. But it looks like there's been some betrayal, some game playing, responsibility has been ignored. And, you know, maybe there's some lines there. And another way, if you're single, then this is about meeting someone who is an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. This person is someone that you've met before, reminds you of someone that you've met before. Now, you've just got to make sure, because this person, if I was describing this person's fun, this person's charming, this person can be the life of the party. It doesn't want to ever give a positive, so, you know, it's not that we're definitely in a relationship, you and I. It's like, we kind of avoid that. This person may be stringing people along, not giving promises. But if this is in terms of a relationship, then this is something that this is causing us stress. It might even be causing us heart pain, as in not the physical heart, but my heart is hurting from the pain. You know, I know this person loves me, but why do they keep doing this crap? During virtue messages from the angels, Virgo, is for some of you Virgos, you might find that there is some speech or mental, disconnect going on. So maybe difficulty getting words out. Maybe we've got migraines, we're having difficulty speaking, or that we need, gentle work, something to do with speaking this month also for you Virgos. So we've got a yes card, so that's excellent. Yes to what it is that we're looking for. Melina, this is going to that specialist that I'm looking at. So we're being pulled in 4 different directions. So maybe we think it could be this, or this, and this is the process we're looking at. We're going to go to this specialist first. We're going to try this, come back, see how that goes, and then go with that. The other part, which is actually fueling that, where we are going to treat that with this pill, this injection, whatever that is. So it's pulled out in 4 ways, and it's making you feel very thin. You might be feeling very tired because you haven't got the answers yet. Very good communicative time for you. You'll find that you're talking to a lot of people. I also feel like you might be making a deal with someone and agreeing on a pact or an agreement. So whether it be, I'm walking the dog next door for the old lady, or I've agreed to my new tenant, someone's moving in with me, and we just agreed that we're going to do half-half. I've decided, yes, I will take the job looking after the neighbour's kid. Whatever we're agreeing to, it's not something like it's a contract that's written down. It's a contract made verbally. Okay, let's look at Libra. Libra, there's been some difficulty for you emotionally wise, that things have gone up, they've gone down, you've lost your mind, and you've been driven to it because you're normally very level-headed. And at this time, it is about agreements, it's about the other in our life, how they make us feel about ourselves, how we are as a couple, and the value in that. What our day looks like. Is it physically exhausting you? Do you have enough time for them? If you're working, maybe you don't have enough time, or this, you, them, either one of you are doing this. And so you might find that it is repeating previous relationship issues that you have, or it's bringing up self-destructive habits and tendencies to you, or you're watching it happen to them. It's about the internal, the 12th house is about the internal thoughts, past karma, self-destructive habits of subconscious, past history. So those are bringing up ideas through relationship-wise, that's bringing up within you or them, and it's difficult for you. So you're deciding, and also, on a sex part, maybe there's been a request of something outside the norm, because the 12th house is also what's behind closed doors. It's outside the norm, and maybe you're deciding if I'm comfortable with this or if I'm not comfortable with that as well. Also, it's a major time for you to go and seek what is below the surface psychologically. What is the subconscious hiding that is creating these doubts and values that you have about yourself in partnerships, work and life for you? But it has been going up and down for, I want to say, 3 months for you, Libra. Okay, so with our finances, we're looking at, okay, this is where I am. What am I going to do? So when we're looking at our self-destructive habits and our subconscious and past behaviors, secrets and karma and what our strengths are, we want others to see what our strengths are. We're assessing the situation and where we are right now and who we work for or our own passive income. And we're looking at how we can make a change there. This is where I want to stay, or I want to make a change, whether that be complete diversion or maybe it's just a slight change. Also, it's a time for someone who may be offering you a contract. You have worked for them and your contract time is finishing. Maybe you're being headhunted. But this is about someone seeking you out or you seeking them out and saying, look, this is what I have done previously and this is what I want from you. When it comes to finances, looking at your past history to be able to gain a yes on that. When it comes to the home, we've got the moon card. So again, Libra, it's difficult because you're going to have a lot of attention over the next 18 months and you already had a difficult time of finding that balance. And your opposite will be Aries. So it's finding that balance around the rage, finding that balance within the competition and the heat and pressure that is around you. Now, the moon card is a major arcana card, so major change there, and it is about family itself. So if you live with your mother or you live with your family, there's some change there, which is really bringing up endings, pasts, the subconscious, and self-destructive habits. So maybe you're looking at someone else's self-destructive habits and saying, this is wearing me down, or I can see that I'm now continuing on from what I've seen and learnt in that sense. For others, this is about, okay, we really need to look at the family. So if you're not living with your family, you're looking at, do I want to buy a home? Do I want to move home? I'm having difficulties with the neighbours or the people that I live with. There's some confusion there, and I really have to decide which way I'm going. We're all barking at the moon here where we can see orthodox, unorthodox. We've got the moon, this is the family. There's also an eclipse here, and we've got these two barking at the moon and this one coming out. Now this is a crab, lobster, whatever you want to call it, and it's coming from the water, which we're all focused on the 12th house. So I want to see the darkness and the things behind closed doors and the things that our own karma and our own ego and our own self-destructive habits, which are coming out in some way in the house that we live with or the family itself. So there is a change there. When it comes to your health, you might want to, now, first and foremost, for some of you people, it looks like STD, or we want to get checked there, or maybe we're worried we're pregnant, or maybe we're worried we can't get pregnant. In that area, it's the first thing I felt one. So that's for a small select few of you. Fifth house, it's the heart, sides of the body, spine, and upper back. It's coming back and forth. Like we might feel like, oh my God, it's never going to go. And then before you think about it, it's like, oh, I forgot all about it because, you know, it was bad for like 10 days and I actually don't feel it anymore. So it's back and forth, and that can come on full strong and be inflamed and be angry and causing rigid mobility. Or so if we're talking about the heart, the spine, the upper back. So if we're talking about spine, side of body and upper back, it could be we're really rigid and unable to move and it's flaring up and going down. If it's about the heart, we might be having palpitations or feeling a shudder going on there. So we're going to seek medical attention there. But because it's in reverse, this is something that we have to go back and look at, and not surprising, everything's in retrograde. So it's something that's happened before, it's come up now, which is good because now we can get an answer to what this is or get better treatment, because in the world of medicine, every 6 months there's something different and new coming out that wasn't available before, which can really make a difference to your day-to-day life. When it comes to our relationships, we've got the death card. So for some of you, like I said, Libra, we are, coming to an end and deciding, whether we are with someone who has self-destructive habits, we're with someone who, or they're bringing out the worst in me, so that scenario. So we are deciding whether we're going to leave. Those of you that are single, Libra, this is the death card. It's not about death itself, it can be. But with it being in the sense that we're in here, we could be looking at a relationship as an escape from what our family life looks at. We could be continuing on with family traditional, negative forms of relationships here, or if we're single, we're going into one. And this is a fresh start. Now, this is karmic. It's all karmic for you, Libra, for the next 18 months. So this is karmic. And those of you that have been single for a while, this is unexpected. And they're just riding on in, and you weren't expecting it, and there they are, because it's karmic and it's come at the right time. So, Libra, you're drawing virtue messages from the angels. Okay, well, that's a lot for you, isn't it? So, there's abundance there where you need it. So I feel like this here, where we're stopping and we're looking and we're saying, well, this is what I've got to offer. So it could even be, I'm applying for a loan and this is what I've got. So you've got the abundance of money there. I'm putting what I have on show. So maybe it's a book, painting, intellectual papers or thesis or project or whatever it is that I do for money. It's out on display and there's an abundance of money there. This is also abundance of help as well. So if you need assistance, there is abundance around that for you. Yvonne is saying that you may get a pet. If you have a pet, you might need to spend some money on them this month. And the other way this is about showing compassion to yourself, first and foremost, and having compassion for those that are around you. Caution, like I said, there's caution all over here. We're looking at all the things below the surface: ego, self-destruction, our value system, how we are, what people bring out in us, how we want the world to see us, lies, secrets, things that, are going to come out. So be cautious before we throw the baby out with the bathwater. Again, nothing's going to be solid until at least the 15th of September, but I want to say closer to the end. You're tired, you're exhausted, you just want a break, you want it all to finish, and it will finish. It's going up and down for you, so you might have a pretty good period for a week, and then bam, it's back to being, argumentative or highly energized. Vanessa says, follow your gut, have value in yourself, trust your instinct, and lead forward with a place of power. So if you feel like you're the one with the problem, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get some help. So you can book them with me and go and see someone for free. There's phone call places you can call. Look, I'm taking the lead in this and I really want to make a change. And if you are doing that change now, it will work because we're in a karmic time for you, Libra. Loved one who is passed away, whether it's a child. So it could be your sibling, a child itself, or a childhood friend is giving the information that we've just given you, and also saying that there's a partnership here, which could be with work, or it could be with our love, or we've come to this agreement with the family. So we're working on that. And this being here, it means that it is a discussion about a union or a contract being involved there. So, with work, we might find that we've been, a casual or a part-timer, now we're offered full-time work. Lastly, Libra, our day changes. Now, if it's our health that's been interfering with our work, our health is now getting looked at, which gives us more availability to be at work. If this has been caused by work, maybe a time away from work will make you feel better. All right, now we're going on to Scorpio. Scorpio, this is a social time for you, but this is also a time where, for you, what would help you in abundance is to get out and to make some phone calls, get on the internet, ring groups, organizations, fraternities, go out there and see what there is there out for you, because it's going to help you this month. It's a social time. You'll get that reinforcement, that backing that you need. 1, 2. Support that it is that you need. It looks like we're going into a contract, union, partnership, whether that be work. Well, a lot of you, this is a relationship. 715 is relationship, someone that we've been dating, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles there. So I'm feeling very comfortable with this person. We're making ground. We're on our way to make to be a committed couple. If we are already a committed couple, we're on our way to getting married or having children. Those of you that are already like that, this is a really nice romantic time where you really feel like you're making ground and you really feel like you're making memories. Now, this is with a earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. With our work, we've got the Page of Cups. So we've got newness here and we've got more money. It's a bit of luxury. So if we're changing work, maybe we've got a new uniform, maybe we're buying a whole new wardrobe, Scorpio. Maybe we're working online and the money is just flowing in because this is a wealth card. And any kind of projects that you work on, especially if it goes online, whatever it is, the project that you're working on, whether it be online or with people, it will reach a large audience and it will bring in the profit that you need. Or you're working for a company that maybe... So, for example, if you work for a company that, like clothing or makeup or something like that, and when you get the job there, they give you a whole wardrobe because you have to wear that to work. Or they give you skincare products so you have to use that at work. That's what you're selling. So the money is flowing and there's something different about the outerwear or what you're doing and how you're feeling, because it makes you feel good too. And it also gives you more options. So if we are working online, we've got a lot more. We can work from anywhere. We've got more options. We have more time. And so doors have opened that weren't opened before. When we get to our home, we've got the Chariot card. I would say that this is moving, and if it is moving, then you'll be moving near family. But this card is about, because you've got the 7 in here twice. So again, we're looking at unions and contracts, but in particular with the family or the home that we're living in, things have been spinning their wheels and not being moved forward, or you haven't been able to make ground on what it is that you needed to move forward. But this is a major arcana card, so it says it is happening now. You have direction, you have the answers, you know which way it's going to go now. But again, note to that, nothing from until the 15th of September or till the end of September will be solid, because the date will change, So for example, if I'm moving out of a house and I'm moving into a new one, the new house said, you can't move in on the 6th, you've got to move in on the 7th now, or you've got to move in on the 5th, but you can't because you've got to give your keys back to here. So there's a little bit of a change there, or maybe they've turned around and they've said, no, you can't have the place anymore, but you're like, we signed a contract, so back and forth. But the Chariot card says that we are now moving forward. Now, as a family, there has been some difficulty. People haven't known which are the responsibilities that they hold, and maybe people are trying to overshadow or try and take control or try and lead when really they're not the best person for the job. Or maybe, that would be fine, but we really want this person here too because it's a little bit more balanced. So, the leadership or the direction that the family itself is going on has been, difficult, hasn't really been moving, hasn't really been gaining any traction, but now it will. When it comes to your health, you're going to have messages shortly, and it is about the 8th house, which is bladder, genitals, sex organs, reproductive system, hemorrhoids, muscular system, hernias, rectum, and prostate. It is also toxins, and also trauma and healing by the mind. So Scorpio, you might find that by breaking away from a partner, you're able to, so you've sensed yourself or them, it hasn't been good for you, and so mentally wise, we're now in a new direction. But also when I'm talking about, STDs and stuff, or a pregnancy, that might be a conversation that comes up here too, because it is the 8th house and it is the other, and then it's the Aries where it's going to be. So don't be surprised if that happens. It might be out of the blue, but I've told you now, so don't be too shocked. Also with our health, getting told that the results are good, and that we're going to continue on with what our treatment is, because it's not finished yet, but the results are good. Those of you that have done tests and you're waiting to hear what the answer is good. And I've already done the relationship. So, during virtue, messages from the angel Scorpio. Now, anyone that is working with children, you're going to find that there is a branch of, so maybe we're taking in younger people, slightly different age group is going to be added on as well. Or maybe we're branching out and there's going to be, so there's been some renovation, so the 6-month-old to 2-year-olds are on this side, and then the 2-year-olds to the 4-year-olds are on this side. So there's something around there where there's going to be an add-on. So someone that we love that has passed is telling us that we need to stop and think about ourselves and what we want in terms of what I've just said. Because it might be that you have been saving and saving and saving, or you are really strict or really responsible, and they're saying, you don't need to. You can buy something nice for yourself, or you can just relax for a little bit and just, the guilt of being unwell and not being able to work. Give yourself a break, outside factors. We also have Isaiah, so again, we're talking about children. Pregnancy is announced or is given birth. And then we've got patience, which is saying things are coming to an end in a cycle, and we're moving on to the next phase now. Now we're going to go on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we're getting a new job. We're looking at our uni studies. We're maybe looking at following one of our parents into a part of a career, or we're seeking financial support from an institution. We're also looking at the change to it. So let's just talk straight to work. So for some of us, we haven't had a job, or we have, but it's been very short-lived. But let's go with the people that haven't had a job. You're going to get a job, it's changing your day, and it's ending behind what it was that you needed to have that break from, whether it would be health or mental health, whatever, coming back in and getting that job now and being able to take care of the family. Those of you that are already working, it looks like there's going to be some changes there to what your day looks like. Maybe you move from day shift to night shift. Maybe you have to take some time off work and stay home because you've become ill. Study, career and finances, we've got the Page of Wands. This is success, this is movement. You might be on the road, Sagittarius, because it's definitely travel. This is going afield, this is broadening your horizons, this is using your imagination, it's trial and error. So putting that towards what your work is. But if you're working in any kind of travel or movement, it looks like we're settling on what your routine will be. Those that aren't working in that area, if you're working in administration or something like that, you might find that your work that you have done is getting noticed by the people higher than you, and they're admiring or giving feedback and saying, look, I'd really like you to become part of this team, or to be on this shift, or I can see that you've got skills that we weren't aware of, or you're overqualified, so we would like to put you here. That's what it looks like. When it comes to home, we've got the King of Cups, Sagittarius. Now, some of you who don't have fathers, whether they have left or whether they have passed, feeling like we'll have contact with them if they've disappeared, or you'll hear about them. If it's about one that's passed, then you're feeling, for whatever, it's an anniversary, maybe their brother, it's back in your head and you're thinking about that. When it comes to your family itself, it looks like we are discussing about, it's an emotional topic. We've got some news, and it's good news. We don't know what the dates are, but we know at least we've got that. So now we've got that bit of information, we can now plan moving forward, and that's in the emotional way. If it's about your flatmates, tenants, landlords, look, things are going to be done in a rush, Sagittarius. We might have an option of, like, I want to move. I don't know how to do this. I don't know where I'm going to go, but this person said I have to leave. And then suddenly I find this place where I wasn't looking, and I found this place, and now I've got to tell this person. So we're doing that. So we've got the news. We do have options, and we're able to give that information about what's coming up next. In our house, we've got the Fool card. Listen, I feel like someone might be dazed. I feel like someone might have been sedated. I feel like someone might be feeling dozy, feeling tired, feeling dizzy, feeling out of it. So if this is on a drug sense, it's sedation, it's hallucinogenics, it's weed, it's mushrooms, it's acid, it's medication, something like that, which is making us quite dazed. It's first and foremost how I feel. On the other side of that, it feels like, look, because I had this idea of what the future was going to look like, and that hasn't panned out, I am completely deflated. Now, the Fool card is a major arcana card, so it's a turnaround period for you, and your health is indicated here, but there's an ending with that health issue. So it looks like things are on their way. Now, the Fool card is a 0 card, so it means I'm starting, and I'm, like, if you look at this guy, he's on the way. He's starting his journey, and he's excited, maybe a little bit naive. He's got all that he needs with him. He's got a companion. He's looking up. He's singing, and that's what your health is going to look like. So if you've had some health issues, we're coming to a point now where you can look to the future and know that that's there and it's coming. When it comes to your relationships, we've got the 7 of Pentacles. This is with an earth sign, Sagittarius, Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. Now, we're looking at meeting family. There might be an issue with family in this relationship. There's certainly a decision on commitment. Are the lines blurred? Are we deciding this is definitely what we're going to do, moving forward, coming together, or separating? But we're looking at the history that we have with each other, and we're deciding on what's next. We're reassessing that, and maybe we're having a timeout, or maybe we've had a timeout and we've decided we're getting back together. Those of you that are single are looking at yourself and habits and the way that self-destructive tendencies, ego, insecurities, whether it be you or with the other, maybe you're always attracting that person, or maybe that's something that you have internally that's you, because it's the picture of ourselves that we want to show others, or seeing someone and not recognizing till later. So we're looking at our history, and we want to make some practical, tangible changes there. And we might spend some money on getting some help. You might come and see me, or couples counselling, join a social group. But we're looking at our history and what practical, tangible means on making that change there towards being able to have a committed relationship. Drawing virtue messages from the angels, Sagittarius, is... So we do have that victory at work. Desired outcome will come in the future. And that one. Daniel, this is the marriage card. So again, this is work, and this is with relationships. This is the duet that we're talking about, which is going to be a major factor for you over the next at least 8 weeks. And lastly, Oceana. So this is what I was saying before about ego, self-destructive tendencies, habits that we've continued, all the things below the surface on a psychological nature, with value internally ourselves, how we feel about being with a partner, our insecurities, allowing them to have insecurities, whichever way it is, you or them. This card says go past what you fear and to come up for air. So like I said before about sedation, if you think about Pisces, which is the house we're looking at, it's everything under the water, and it's like anesthetic. When you have anesthetic, nobody knows where you go. When you take a sleeping pill, you just black out and you're gone. Again, with the going with the flow, that's also fish, it's also underwater, but it's also holding your breath from all the things that are bringing you down. The ego, self-destructive, the psychological, past habits, and this is in all areas we're looking at here. Well, we need to, because it's affecting your health, and it's come from family maybe, or your childhood, and it's about cutting off the weights and putting your head above water and taking that deep breath. So the whole sedation, being out of it, and then taking a deep breath. This is a part Sagittarius. So maybe there's been some delusions, maybe illusions. Maybe if we are taking these drugs that we shouldn't be taking, it's creating a future that's not real. It's not reality driven. Okay, now we're going to go on to Capricorn. Capricorn, we are out and about. We're learning some things. So university, also, if we've got a job, we're learning things. We're moving, we're traveling. Now, in terms of dating, this is a really good time for you, Capricorn, to get out there and get amongst it, meeting new people, going out with groups. It's a social time for you. So communication with that as well. Small select few of you with pregnancies, I feel like just be careful for the next, say, 2 weeks, because that could be a possibility there. Right, so a long-term teaching, working as a psychologist, working in any kind of translation or travel or religion, culture, or anything else like that. We're doing a project this month which is going to be very successful in the neighbourhood or the community and have some great feedback from that. Also getting up from an act of betrayal or an act of a carpet being pulled out from underneath you, that great shock. We're recovering from that in a financial or in a career way. So let's say that we suddenly got fired or someone suddenly took credit for your work and nothing you said would change the boss's mind. Suddenly had to stop studying and, now going back. So what we recovered from is really going to show up now. When it comes to your home, we've got the Ace of Cups, got lovely information coming that's going to warm the heart. Someone may ask you to move in with them. We're getting information that is, it's deep information. So if this is from the family, someone's getting married, someone's getting baptized, someone's passed away, and so it's an anniversary, coming together and having a celebration. Celebrating getting a home. When it comes to our house, we've got the Queen of Swords. We are recovering from a position where we are resting now. And it may have come on suddenly. It was a bit of a shock, Capricorn, but it's better outcome than what we thought it was going to be. And this can also be hereditary as well. And the other way this can go is returning to a good mental state from previously not being very low before. And so our intellect, our way of thinking has fresh air breathed into it. When we're talking about our relationships, we've got the Justice card. So just making sure we're keeping ourselves even balanced, making sure we're not overdoing it, making sure we've got plenty of time for relationships. Now, for some of us, this is legality. So we're getting births, deaths, marriages. We are, there's a judgment coming down between the two over what this relationship is. Now, if this is about a divorce or a legality to do with the couple, what's hanging in the balance here is there's information that won't come out until about the 18th of October for you specifically for that arrangement. If we're getting married or we're getting it married. If we're talking about finding a balance between us, Capricorn, it's a communicative thing. And it looks like it is orthodox versus unorthodox, religious versus non-religious, cultural, travel, maybe a person from a whole different genre that you would normally date. We're finding that balances us and that we're feeling a lot better in a relationship sense. This person really brings out the best in us. Or if we don't have a partner and we're enjoying going out with a few or going out with partners, nothing's too serious, we're really finding that this contact, this going out is really bringing our peace and bringing us to a level that we haven't been feeling for a while. During Virtue, messages from the angels. Same. Okay, so new love, reignited love, imminent. If you're worried about that, have faith and hope in the future. There's something happening here that you can't see. So if you're constantly single, you think, I went out with this guy and then I got ghosted and no one's ever going to go out with me. Karma-wise, it's coming. You just have to wait. And I know you can't see that right now. Whatever's happened in your relationship, I know that you can't see that right now, but I'm telling you it's there because it's just over there and it's karmic-wise. It's a reshuffle, restructuring. Again, movement. We are moving to a new place, or the change that's happened within the home or family brings in that wonderful new fresh energy. And again, going past that which we fear. So like I said, what happened before where the rug was pulled out from under us, or we felt like we were betrayed, we're going past that now and feeling a lot better. So Aquarius. So Aquarius, we're looking at really deep subjects and conversations this month for some of us. Others, we are dealing with people that we rely on. So that could be our boss, who we financially rely on, our partner, or our passive income. So that's our focus for this month, Aquarius. And for some of us, it's about a family member who has some, dark thoughts or is acting in a way it's not giving support, maybe acting out mentally, like trauma of the mind, really creating tension within family, because this is a deep subject. The Eighth House is deep conversations and deep subjects that we're dealing with. So financially, dealing with the other in our life, who we work for, our passive income, or who we are reliant on, you're going to find that there's less pressure. It's taken off your mind because things will go a lot more smoothly. This is in inverse. So this card is saying that pressure that we've been carrying is gone, Aquarius, so you don't need to worry about that. Now, if you've just lost someone, mentally you might not be able to physically continue working for a bit. You might need to take some time off and stay home, because it looks like Aquarians are either celebrating a anniversary of someone that's passed, are still recovering from that grief, or someone has just passed recently. I want to say that through this, someone an ex that you haven't seen for a long time, so it's a long time ex before, for whatever reason, is around the family to do with, so if someone's just passed for whatever reason, they've found out and they've turned up and you see them, or your anniversary and you're still dealing with the grief, so someone from around that area will be here. You weren't expecting it, but it's there. Family-wise, there could be some disagreements here on what gets what and who gets what, or maybe this fueling. It's someone that is loss of control. Maybe they're hating on themselves. Maybe they're not dealing with grief. Maybe they're going through a separation. Because if this is about a divorce between a couple, it has become very erratic and needs to happen. That separation needs to happen, or that we need to get this deep counselling to really sort out where these, because this is not a little issue, it's a big issue. Family-wise, same thing. But if we're dividing up, or there's a disagreement within the family about this, who's going to look after this person, or if this person's passed away, who's going to get what. Disagreements on, how that money is going to be shared. So if we've got a new job, or we're earning more money, or the people that we rely on money from, if there's more, then there's disagreements on where that should go. When it comes to your house, we have got the Death card, but in reverse, it looks like we really, because we're stuck where we are going back and forth, and it might find that we might have a scare that really makes us want to change the way we move forward. And if we've just lost someone, or we're getting over the grief of someone we've lost before, then this is going to show up this month, and it might make you feel, so for some of you, you might be a bit dazed, you might be unconscious, you might be taking sleeping pills, you might be feeling below the surface, feeling dazed about that. For others, this is like, I really just am overwhelmed this month by the other grief, or someone that I've separated on, and it's just creating. This is a major arcana card. It's really stopping me from healing completely. When it comes to our love, we've got the Moon card, so another major arcana card. So again, if we're talking about the other in our life, which we're separating, a grief that we are still going through, and someone's causing issues with that, which is really, really hard to heal from that, or someone has just passed. Again, when it comes to the relationship-wise, we really need to look at this matter, because family is coming apart between our relationship, or our relationship is a part of the family, and so we're now going to get divorced. We have to decide who gets the home, who gets the children, what the equal share is, what the legalities are going to be. That's what it looks like. Those of you that are single, you might find that your family issues are just taking over, and you really can't be bothered going out. But if you are going out and you are looking, then you're going to find a Cancer person who has an unorthodox family, and it's really quite refreshing, because the way that it works, I mean, you might be a traditionalist and you've always been a traditionalist, and then, you know, life has taught you some lessons, and then you see this and you think, well, how refreshing is that? It makes it so much easier. Everyone understands where they are, what they're doing, what the responsibilities are. There's no confusion, and it's relaxing away from what it is that I'm dealing with. Indriel says, I know that you need help. I'm there. I've heard you, and I'm going to bring that. Rael's talking about that. So it could be also migraines as well. That sedation, that zoning out, that unconscious, that area of the head here going up. We could be having, I'm an Aquarius, and I have seizures, vestibular migraines, and a brain tumor, so it's been really acting up for me. But for you guys, it could be migraines, it could be depression, it could be, you know, just feeling out of it. You know, that card is showing that. So meditation, sitting outside, being quiet, resting, it will help you with that. Rochelle says, trust yourself. You will feel your strength returning, and don't let anyone bully you. Stand your ground, and that's the best way forward. And you will win. You will win because you're in the right. And Fiona says, I know you've asked for help. Help is on its way. So let's get to Pisces. Pisces, we're looking at our partnerships, love or work this month. Now, if we're talking about work, we've started a new job. We're really liking it. We've got great communication with our team, and we're learning new skills, and so smaller skills and longer skills. So maybe we've got a new job and we're going to university, or we've left small college, we're going to university, or we have finished a university and now we're going to do, now going to be working in the community. As far as getting a job, we've got a new job or a new position, and we're learning that, and we're really enjoying, we're really social with people that we're working with. If we're talking about a partnership, then we are out and about with the cousins and the in-laws and those kind of people. We're learning more about each other. We're going on holiday. Some of us are going on holiday. For some of you, it could be overseas, but it might be back to family home. It looks like we are going somewhere. It could be just local. But it's not just broadening our horizons as in getting up and getting out of here, my space and my home, but the mental way of that. It's just opening up and making us feel a lot freer. Now, with work, wishes coming true, money's there, great outcomes, more reach, wonderful financial way for the whole of this month. And so that's what all needs to be said about that. Good results, work, good results, study, good results, finances. At home, we have this person who is just, maybe it's so obvious to this person. It could be you, it could be somebody else that you live with within the family, or a flatmate. This person is not helping themselves, and maybe it's you. So maybe you've had a lot going on, and right now, I'm over it. I'm just going to give myself 4 weeks to rest, and then I'll get up and I'll deal with life. If it's somebody else, and they're ignoring, like you could literally show them a picture and they're just ignoring it. They're saying, no, that's not real, that's not happening. No, I don't need your help. I can do it on my own. Because this person's sitting in front of the tree of life, and there's help there, and our emotions are not stable. So this person's bringing love, bringing help, bringing practicality, and this person just doesn't want to take it. So it could be that so this is you, someone's pushing you to move when you're not ready. Or maybe you've lost someone through grief or partnership, and you're just not ready. You know, in that sense, someone's not ready and they're ignoring what's blatantly obvious. Also to do with a home in the neighbourhood. Maybe your neighbours have invited you over and you don't want to go. Maybe you have a discourse with the neighbours, or it's with your landlord, either way. When it comes to your health, we've got 5. Do check your sun, moon and rising, because this card's come up for a few. This is the heart, the sides of the body, the upper back, heart, spine, side of the body and the upper back. Doesn't look, there's needles here and there's pain, sharp pains here, but it looks like it's happened before. So if it's an organ that's causing pain in the spine, on the lower back, or if there's something so blood pressure causes the heart to hurt, or migraines causes the heart to hurt, or exercises, something is causing this. And it's happened before. This is not something that's brand new. This has happened before. It looks like we're going to have to either get a procedure done, get another diagnostic done, or some sort of needle. But it looks like there's 2 more to complete the sequence for that health. In your relationships, King of Swords. So if you thought you were broken up with someone, you'll find that no, you haven't. Things will work out. But again, nothing is certain until approximately the 15th of September on. So if it's at that date, it's definitely not. So if you're breaking up, in September, it's fine. This also goes with meeting someone in a new relationship, someone who reminds you of someone from the past or someone that you've dreamed about. This person, it's not a savior complex. This person makes you feel very safe. This person makes you feel like you can be yourself. This person wants to be there and do anything to make you happy. So if it's a new one, this person you can respect, you can trust this person. And they may feel like a very old soul. I don't know why, but I feel like there's a Scorpio around this, but this is an air sign. This is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but I do feel there's a Scorpio around that as well. Okay, drawing virtue messages from the angels. A lot of cards. So your loved one, your child that has passed, your sibling that has passed, your childhood friend that has passed, is letting you know that there's a new addition coming to the family. So that's good, that's babies. New addition coming to the family. So if you actually, 739 and 1, we've decided as an agreement that we have committed to the fact that we're having expanding waistlines and it's new for us and we're announcing it. So, that can go there with that too. But someone new coming. So, it also could be a pet, but some new addition to the family. And if someone has passed and family members want to come and stay or a friend wants to come and stay, reignited love or new love. Aurora, you're flying high. Rumors around you, gossip around you, lies being told to you, gaslighting, manipulations, control, dominations, all of that rise above. It's not even, just don't let it sink in. Just pretend that you have this Teflon around you and bounce off. That's your job for the month of September, is to just not let anything touch you. Carissa says you're at the end of a cycle, your new cycle is coming. Now, karmically, Pisces, I really feel like you've been stuck on the left, the darker side of Pisces, where we're zoning out, we want, soul tired, mentally drained, feel like you're going against the flow. It's been a highly charged time. A lot of things underneath the surface may be coming forward, but Pisces, I really feel like we're at that change now, and I feel like it's from the end of September and October where we're going to suddenly not feel that way anymore. Suddenly feel like the future is bright, my head feels better, and I feel like I've got a lot more options, because what has been freaking me out the most, I've been able to sort those things out, and or I just suddenly feel better, and it's karmic, it's the time. So be kind to you and those you love, and from Jedi Side Jake, may the force be with you.